everybody. It's Garrett and Drew from Race Bros, and welcome to episode 5 of the Race Bros podcast. Bristol was this weekend. Um, really good weekend. This is going to be a pretty good video. The Cup race was amazing. Truck race was pretty good too, but the Cup race is going to be a big one that we'll talk about. But yeah, what did you think of the weekend, Drew?
I liked it. I watched some of the truck, not towards the end though. But the cup was different.
Yeah, that's some old school NASCAR right there. A lot of people didn't like it, but I loved it.
It was a good change
It
up.
was
I
entertaining.
I don't think I would want that every week.
No,
Like
I think Goodyear's going to do a good job at fixing the tire because they brought like one of the softest tires they've ever made to that race. They'll do some tweaking on it. I don't think that they need to completely like shelve it. It needs some work, but they're heading in the right direction, I got to say. So hopefully they do something with that because, we've been having talks about, Arrow's not working. They need to add more horsepower. Maybe if they do something with the tire, make the racing a little bit more interesting, I think they could pull that off. So we'll have to see what they do in the coming weeks. Dover should be pretty interesting. If they bring that tire to Dover, that's going to be a good race because that's also a concrete track. So, but we'll go ahead and get started with the Truck Series race. Kyle Busch, he dominated both stages. Let me see. Is that what I have? That incident that says, hold on, I gotta make sure. Okay, so that's not what that is. But yeah, Kyle Busch, he dominated both stages. It's been kind of a trend over a couple weeks. There's been a driver that dominates both stages, but they don't get the race win. And unfortunately, that went to Kyle Busch this weekend. But the next thing is teammates collide, Majeski and Rhodes. That's the video I have, so we'll go ahead and cut to that. That's always really bad when you run into your teammate getting involved in a wreck. Like,
who's his teammate? 99.
Okay, no ads. So yeah, 99 and the 98. That was Ben Rhodes and Ty Majeski. They got into it together. That caused the caution. I think it was like lap 144 or something like that. It was like 30 to go in the stage. Pretty much ended both their days. But yeah, it's one thing to wreck, but to wreck with your teammate, that's
Well,
always
that sucks. But I wouldn't say it was like it definitely wasn't intentional. But
oh
like
no, no.
it wasn't like they collected each other. Like whoever hit him from behind, I think, got him loose,
Mm-hmm.
and then he got
Yeah, and then they just
his
had nowhere
teammate
to
got
go and they just
collected.
ran
Yeah,
into each other.
that sucks. But
Yeah. Yeah. It's always going to be, back at the shop on Monday, I'm sure they had to talk about it. But I mean, obviously it wasn't intentional or anything. It was just racing, but sucks when you get involved in a wreck with your teammate.
yeah, he had nowhere to go. It's such a small
Yeah.
track, and
Yeah, I mean, he was down all the way to the wall. I mean, there's nowhere he
I
could
don't think
go.
there would be any way to change that unless he
No.
stayed up high and he would have probably still got collected or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's always I should have done that instead of this,
Yeah,
Um you always look back at it and be like, oh man, if I would have just stayed high instead of go low, maybe I could have got through that without taking out my teammate. But and then the next thing here, Stuart Friesen, he was racing Nick Sanchez down on the inside, and Sanchez had to run up the high side on the wall, and Friesen basically kind of just cleared himself, is how I looked at it. We'll go ahead and watch the clip here. And with that, there was a fight. So shout out to Skew Car for posting this video. I don't know if he initially took it or not, but here's the incident after the race. So yeah, that was the incident with Stuart Friesen and Nick Sanchez. I don't understand. Nick Sanchez has this issue with these veteran drivers. I mean, Friesen, he's been a part of the Truck Series for a long time.
Who was the one that was up front?
What do you mean up front?
Who turned themselves?
So Friesen was in the 52. Sanchez was up high in the 2. And Friesen came across the nose.
Yeah. He thought he was clear, but wasn't.
And then he had the audacity to go over to Sanchez's truck after the race and grab him by the throat.
Yeah, like that does make sense. Because, like, don't get me wrong, it sucked you wrecked, but he was there. He's up against the wall. He has no place to go.
Yeah, and Nick Sanchez is the one last year who got in the fight with Matt Crafton, and he was all bloodied and bruised, and he was like, I'm going to fucking kill you. I don't know. Nick Sanchez got to stay away from them veterans, and I don't know what the deal is with the veterans. They can't take it anymore. I don't know. It seems like all these veterans, they run into Nick Sanchez and then they blame him for it. I don't know. But that's Bristol, baby.
Yeah. Tempers flare at short tracks.
Mm-hmm. Was there anything else you wanted to add to that, or?
No.
All right. And then lastly, Christian Eckes was the, like I said earlier, Kyle Busch swept the stages but did not win the race. He ended up finishing second. Here's that clip now. They were battling really hard. Kyle Busch and Christian Eckes was.
I heard Eckes moved him.
Yeah. So Eckes was below the yellow line at one point. There was a good shot of that. I don't have the photo of it, but yeah, he was below the yellow line underneath Kyle Busch. It was pretty cool. Kyle was on his ass. If he had one more lap, he may have been able to get to Eckes, but just time ran out, you know.
I mean, I'd move him too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's the last lap, you know.
Well, also it's Kyle Busch. He can go race in the cup.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the end of the race, but
well, that too. I mean,
yeah, when that incident happened, they were still like 50 to go, I think.
But if I had a cup racer coming to my races all the time and like just winning, I would move him to get the win.
Well, I mean, it's Bristol. That's the track where oh shit, the bump and run. The bump and run was created there. I think that was Jeff Gordon and Rusty Wallace, maybe. I don't know, but it was a long time ago. But that's where that move was made. The old bump and run.
They don't work like that as much anymore.
No, not in Cup anyway. Like, you know, you get in the back of somebody and usually they can't save it. They're gonna spin out. But in the truck and Xfinity, they can make it work.
Yeah, you could do it a bit, but like it's not the same impact as before.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, that's good for Christian Eckes because last year he just came up short, and then he got it done this year. So that's really good for him, especially beating Kyle Busch. But who's to say what could have happened if they had an extra couple laps? Who knows? But it was a really good race in the Truck Series. And then we can go ahead and move on to Cup.
Look,
now, huh?
I'm tired.
Did you get much sleep?
I don't know. Yeah, I got some sleep.
You don't know if you got enough sleep?
I don't remember.
This next clip we're going to pull up, this isn't anything like really important or anything, but I didn't get to see the beginning of the race. And so when I was watching the highlights, I I saw this and I thought it was super fucking cool to honor DW like this. So we'll go ahead and cut to that. I love that. I fucking love that, dude. I love Darrell Waltrip. I just thought that was cool that they did that for him. I miss hearing the boogity, dude.
Yeah.
I fucking miss it. A lot of people say they hated Darrell Waltrip because of some of the things he said. I thought he was funny. I always liked DW. But it was cool hearing the boogity boogity and then having that kind of race, like an old school, cup race, like
it was destined to be.
It was. It really was. Yeah, and the reason why this race was so interesting is because of the tire problems that they were having. They had they put down a new substance on the track. I forget
resin.
The resin. Yes, exactly. I was gonna say I don't remember the name of it. Instead of PJ1, and I was watching practice and qualifying, and it was drastically different. Like practice 1 and practice 2, A and B, like B couldn't even get. I think it was Harrison Burton. He was like in 13th. That was the fastest he could go. And he was the leader of Group B. So like the track was changing so much, and the tire fall off, and it was I knew it was gonna be a wild race. One of the first incidents that happened, it was Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch. They both blew rear tires pretty much at the exact same time. We'll go ahead and cut to that. Maybe. Look at all them marbles up there.
Yeah.
And here's Kyle Busch spinning out. Now, the crazy thing was the 11 was leading, and Kyle Busch was on his ass right before this caution came out. They were up in first and second, and then all of a sudden, Kyle started dropping back. He dropped back to like 15th or something. Denny started dropping back, and then the tires were just gone. It was like one lap they were good, the next lap, non-existent.
Yeah, it was redding them up.
It was, yeah. And a lot of the drivers were saying they had a lot of fun because like they put 4 tires on it. It was like a video game, they said. They went out there and like there's cars that were going like 20 mile an hour slower than they were. They were just flying around that track. A lot of drivers said they had a lot of fun. A lot of drivers said that they didn't like it. There were some drivers saying they should throw the red flag and put more resin down or get more tires, things like that. Because I can't remember if it was. I sent you that post where they said they didn't think they had enough tires for the end of the race. I don't know if that was somebody just making that up to be a joke, but or if that was actually true. I mean, they made it.
Well, I think a lot of them. There was only there was 5 on the lead lap by the time the checkered came. So I think all of them were out of tires.
Oh yeah,
I guarantee it that they had no sets to replace, or they would have came in and done it.
Well, and there was a lot of teams that were because they kept having a lot of cautions a little bit back to back. They were throwing scuffs on, and people were like, "Why would you throw scuffs on and not fresh?" Well, when you run a few laps on tires and you take them off, it changes the compound because of the heat. It hardens that tire. So Dale Jr. was talking about that. Like back in the day, they would throw tires on from qualifying for the start of the race because they were scuffed and they were a harder compound. And they would go run those. And he was like, this was just like the old days. And they hadn't had to deal with that in the Cup Series in a long time. So it threw everybody for a loop completely.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on. Kyle Busch, yet again, more pit crew woes. They have changed the crew members on this car several times this season, and they still can't get it right. We're going to go ahead and cut to that. Look at those tires. You see that? Those tires are fucked, dude.
So, what happened? The jackman just fucking dropped it on him?
So, I think what had happened was the guy who was here. We'll go ahead and cut back. Hold on. Let me go back.
Because his signal is to go as soon as it's dropped. That's his signal.
Correct.
And my guess is that the jackman did not look at the front tire again. Because I believe this is the same fucking problem they had before.
Okay, we'll go ahead and cut back here.
Was that the front tire was not done, and they looked at the back tire and dropped it.
So correct. Yeah, the front tire was not done yet. And then I think this guy jumped in front to slow him down, like say, hey, stop. I don't know why you would want to do that.
Well, I think he was trying to rewind it again. I think he was still trying to put the tire on, and the way that he was going and moving the car, it would have sent him.
See, right there, he jumps in front. Here, let me go back a little further.
Well, I think he's standing a little bit in front of the car.
So here he is. He stands right there. Jack drops. He moves towards the nose. I don't know. I don't really know.
Yeah, he's trying to tell him to stop.
Yeah, but look at those fucking tires, dude. Those things are shredded.
Yeah, they were horrible.
But man, RCR's got to get some better pit crews.
It almost looked like he didn't mean to drop the jack there, but like
yeah, because it looked like the rear tire was done, like you said, the rear tire was finished.
Yeah,
and I don't know if the jackman just looked right, saw that the rear tire was done, didn't look left or what, but was not ready. Yeah. And then finally, Denny Hamlin wins. Unfortunately. Go ahead and cut to that. Oh God. Oh God.
What are you watching?
Don't know. So there was a real cool shot that someone took of Denny, celebrating. He got out of the car. Now I don't like Denny Hamlin, but Dale Earnhardt said it don't matter if they're cheering or booing as long as they're making noise. And they were making noise. And they were also making some hand gestures. Denny was on top of his car. He had the number 1 up. He was number 1. And then you could see the crowd and the fans were flipping him off. It was fucking hilarious. I mean, like I said, I don't like Denny Hamlin, but I like how he takes the hate. Yeah. He eats it up. I got to give him credit for that. He uses it to his advantage. And you got to. You can either be the hero or embrace the villain. Yeah. And he can be the villain and he can be the hero. He can do both. So I do have to give him a little bit of credit.
Oh yeah, you can't no matter if you hate somebody, once they get they pull in and win and they're doing good, you cannot talk shit about them. Mm-hmm. I mean, you still can, but they got the support to back it up,
Yeah, and when I thinking about it, would you rather be Chase Elliott, the hero because he's NASCAR's golden driver. He's the Dale Jr. of this generation. Or would you rather be the Denny Hamlin, the villain? I would rather be the villain. I think the villain would be a lot more fun than being, the golden child.
Yeah.
I just think the villain is just way cooler. I mean, look at Dale Earnhardt, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick at times.
Yeah. But it's so weird because Dale, as far as I know, Dale was not villain. He played the fucking Intimidator.
Dale was the villain to the drivers, but he was the golden, the knight in shining armor to the fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fans, well, obviously, don't get me wrong, there were fans that didn't like him. But majority of the NASCAR fans love Dale Earnhardt. He was the villain to the drivers, a hero to the fans. I think it's more split with Denny Hamlin, but
yeah. Well, I also like Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon was favorited by a lot, but also hated by a lot.
Correct. Yeah, he was real split. Yeah. Yeah, I remember back in the day, all those videos that they used to post about Jeff Gordon. like making fun of him on YouTube and shit. Like, oh, everybody hated Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
Fucking hated him. And then also that came with this race. I can't believe that the next gen car did this. This is unbelievable. Record
it's all
54 lead changes. Yeah.
All due to the tire.
Record 54 lead changes. Like I said, this was an old school NASCAR race right here. And everyone online was bitching. And I'm like, you can't please NASCAR fans. You want it to be like the 80s and the 90s. And then when we get it, you hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what the answer is. I think it was a good race. I gave it a 10 on the fan council vote.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Now, it shouldn't happen every week like this because this is like a tire situation. But like the more competitive style of it, where like people would be finding the groove and then in a matter of laps it would be losing it. So like,
yeah,
it was a very different race than everybody's used to, but it was a good challenge while it's there.
I think it should happen every week, but not to this extent. I think Goodyear needs to go back to the drawing board a little bit, modify the tire a bit. I think if they can get a nice middle ground, like this weekend, it was a shit show at times. If they can fix the tire a little bit to where like it could go a longer run before the fall off gets that bad, I think they should do it. I think that'd be really cool.
Well, yeah, but like once you get down to where tires are just fucking giving out on you, you know.
So I mean, I don't mean get to that point, but I mean get to the point where drivers have to actually save their tires and manage their tires well, because they haven't had to do that in Cup in years. These cars are like slot cars now, and this weekend was a big struggle for a lot of drivers because they weren't used to that.
Yeah.
The drivers actually had to drive, you know, for once. And then also, I didn't put it down, but you did mention it. Ty Gibbs, he did get his first career stage win, so that's pretty cool for him. He had a fast car. I don't remember where he finished, but it was crazy that he was leading for a while, and he was having problems in practice. I don't think they ran more than three laps in practice. Something was wrong with the car. I think they said they had a bent toe link or something. He said that something was wrong.
Fucking toe link.
The fucking toe link. These cars are made of glass, dude. Like, and then there was
the toe link is, yeah.
Yeah.
The body's balanced, but I mean, you can't do much with the body without the rest of the fucking car under it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't remember who it was, but there was somebody this weekend, they barely scraped the wall and he was done for the day. Like, it's just like back in the day, these cars used to like spin down in the infield, you know, slam the wall. They could take it down pit road, hit it with a hammer, take the mud out of the grill, and go out and win the race. Yeah. But yeah, did you have anything else you wanted to add, or?
No. To be honest, I didn't remember that Denny Hamlin won. I do remember.
I remembered.
I remembered as soon as like that the radio popped in. It was like, "I'm sorry," and I was like in real time, I was confused of what he was apologizing for. Yeah. I was like, "Who's sorry about what?" But then nobody said anything about it. But yeah, it was a interesting race.
It was a pretty short weekend. I mean, ARCA was off, Xfinity was off. I mean, we only had 2 series to talk about, but it was a good weekend. Not really looking forward to COTA. I don't really like COTA.
I like to watch it. It's memorizing watching them go through the corners and then like them just get a good shot of like the car rolling through the turn and shit.
I hope it rains. That's what I hope.
We don't need no more fucking Mother Nature in NASCAR.
Well, at least at the road courses, you can put on the rain tires and go out and race at least. But
the last 2 years, like, weather has just been horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Mother Nature fucked up like a couple of the races already this season, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna look this up. I feel like Truck's off. Let me make sure. Nope. All 3 are ex COTA this weekend. Arca is not back for a couple weeks, so
we should have Arca at Coda.
Arca at Coda. Yeah. That's a great idea.
I'd watch
what
it.
a shit show that would be.
I'd watch it.
They'd be barrel rolling at Coda in the fucking Arca cars, dude. Like,
time to make sure that those safety features work.
They already race at Mid Ohio and Watkins Glen. That's good enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for this week's episode. Next week we're at Coda. We'll see you then. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.